SQL example, you understood why SQL is declarative, right?
Yes.
स्ट्रक्चर्ड क्वेरी लँग्वेज मध्ये आपण काय स्पेसिफाय, हे बघा आता आपण सिंटॅक्स पाहत नाही आहोत की एसक्यूएल मध्ये सिंटॅक्स कसा लिहायचा हे आपण डीबीएमएस मध्ये शिकू सेपरेटली प्रॅक्टिकल्स मध्ये. बट व्हॉट इज इम्पॉर्टंट इज आपण डेटाबेस मधून सबसेट कसा काढायचा आहे हे डीबीएमएस ला सांगत नाही व्हेन वी राईट द क्वेरी इन SQL, and that is why it is a declarative style of writing the code. So programming means what? Programming means writing a code in order that we perform the intended operation on the machine, which can be composed of just the hardware plus operating system, hardware plus operating system plus any application program. SQL मध्ये हार्डवेअर असतं, ऍप्लिकेशन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम असते प्लस डीबीएमएस त्याच्यावर इन्स्टॉल केलेलं असतं, आणि आपण क्वेरी डीबीएमएस ला करतो ना की ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीमला. जनरली जेव्हा आपण सी प्रोग्राम लिहितो तेव्हा तो काय होतो, तो स्वतः एक ऍप्लिकेशन प्रोग्राम ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम वरती रन होतो. Okay, sometimes we write programs for the operating system directly. Okay, that is called as low level programming, where we write the drivers and other things. Okay, so अशा गोष्टीसाठी maybe declarative programming language एवढ्या मोठ्या प्रमाणावर वापर होत नाही तिचा, but the application programming साठी डिक्लेरेटिव्ह प्रोग्रामिंग लँग्वेजेसचा जास्तीत जास्त वापर होतो, जरी त्या खूप फेमस नसल्या तरी. फेमस लँग्वेजेस तुम्हाला दिसला असेल इम्परेटिव्ह कॅटेगरीमध्ये आहेत. सी माहिती असेल तुम्हाला, जावा तुम्ही ऐकलं असेल, PHP तुम्ही ऐकलं असेल, पायथन नाव ऐकलं असेल. सो ऑल दीज लँग्वेजेस विच यू हॅव हर्ड ऑफ, they mostly are imperative, but the programming languages which are there in declarative, that also are a very important category of languages and which are gaining their importance nowadays, because many of the imperative programming language today, they have included functional concepts, they have included data flow concepts. So data flow म्हणजे काय? Data flow programming language is like you organize your solution like a programming graph, a visual representation of your computation is done. Okay, graph based representation असतं प्रोग्रामचं, and you just execute the graph, you don't write the code for it. Again, that is coming under declarative programming language. Unfortunately or fortunately, we are not going to learn any data flow based programming language in this class, but we will be talking about or learning about functional programming language. So functional is a very important class of programming language, and nowadays if you want to do anything related to machine learning, artificial intelligence and other things, many of the Python APIs that are created, they use functional programming concepts in them. A lot of functional programming concepts are incorporated into the scripting languages like Python and many other very much famous programming language. So that's why understanding what are functional concept is very much important, and we will be learning this last language in this category mentioned as Haskell, Haskell. We'll be learning how exactly this functional programming language deals with doing programming, but not doing programming by instructing the program to do certain things. Now, one important distinction between a declarative category of programming language and imperative category of programming language, as they say, is that in imperative programming language, what we try to do is we try to organize our code in order to manipulate data or convert data from one value to the other until we get certain value into our output. What it means is if we are representing state of computation, जो हम लोग compute कर रहे हैं, just like जब हम लोग GCD compute करते हैं तो मेरे पास 3 वेरिएबल रहते हैं. पहला वेरिएबल रहता है A, दूसरा वेरिएबल रहता है B, and the third variable I have is the resultant, जो रिजल्ट होगा. So I require 3 variables, and as I do the computation, मैं अगला आपको एक स्क्रीन दिखाता हूँ. यहाँ पे GCD compute किया है. We are using a while loop. It's a looping construct. So it's going to execute again and again these 2 steps. What are these 2 steps? These 2 steps are manipulating either variable A or variable B. Variable A ला A minus B आपण असाइन करतोय किंवा variable B ला B minus A आपण असाइन करतोय. तर जर गृहीत धरलं की GCDच्या प्रोग्रामची स्टेट ही A ची व्हॅल्यू, B ची व्हॅल्यू आणि रिझल्टंटची व्हॅल्यू यांनी डिफाइन होते, तर जेव्हा मी GCD ला कॉल करीन विथ से 20 and 45 as my values and I start executing this program, माझी A, B आणि resultant ची व्हॅल्यू ही चेंज होत राहील as the program starts to compute the GCD. Initially A will be 20, B will be 45 and C is not having any value. Or return value जर समजा आपण गृहीत धरलं ती C आहे. ओके, नेक्स्ट स्टेप जेव्हा while लूपच्या आत जाईन मी तेव्हा काय होईल, A is not equal to B and A is also not less than B. A 20 आहे, B 45 आहे. ओके, तर काय होईल, B मॅनिप्युलेट होईल. B मॅनिप्युलेट कशाने होईल, 45 minus 20. 45 minus 20 is 25. So now B is 25. So as I do this loop first time, new value of A is same as old, which is 20. New value of B is 25 and C yet does not have any value. Now the first time when I started off this loop, so I'll just show you this in some text file so that it is understandable. Is the text visible in this file? The size okay? Okay, otherwise I'll use
Yes.
the board. Okay, I'll use the board so that so what I'm trying to make you aware of is, so when I compute the GCD, okay, say suppose the result, we are considering that the results are stored in C. Initially when I call the function and say my input parameters are 20 and 20 and 45, so the initial values of these are, तो undefined है इसलिए dash लिखा है मैंने वहां पे. Okay, this represents the state of computation. Currently we do not have anything for C, but all the other variables are assigned certain value. So माझी state of computation क्या है, my A is 20, my B is 45 and C is not computed. After some time into the computation, म्हणजे काही computation steps झाल्यानंतर जसं while loopचं पहिलं iteration होईल, ओके, A is not equal to B म्हणून while loopच्या आत आपण जाऊ. while loopच्या आत एक if कंडिशन आहे, A is less than B, ती टेस्ट करू, ती पण फॉल्स येईल. फॉल्स झाल्यावर काय होणार आहे, B अपडेट होणार आहे. B gets the value B minus A. So 45 minus 20 होऊन what I get is 25 as new value of B. C still does not have any value. Now if I consider this as the second state, so I may call this as S0 or state 0. I may call this as state 1. Now the state of computation is where A has value 20, B has value 25, C does not have any value. It is different from the earlier state of computation. If I do another iteration, again A is not equal to B, I'll go inside the loop. I will test whether A is greater than B. Again it is false. So B is manipulated, 25 minus 20, B value is now 5 and A value is still 20. Okay, this will happen again and again till the algorithm stops. When the algorithm stops, A will have some value. I don't know. Okay, I'm not knowing what the final value. So A will have actually 5 value, which is the return value. So my calculated value will be 5 and B will, I guess, will be 0. Okay, so this will be my last computed value, which is going to come as the resultant from the function. But please understand what I'm trying to explain you is, what do you mean by state of computation and why they say that imperative programming language state of computation is maintained in terms of change in the variable values. We are changing the variable values. Some or the other variable at times is getting manipulated in whole computation. And that's why they say imperative programming languages are stateful, or they change the variable state or change the computation state based on variables. We manipulate variable values in imperative programming language to achieve the computation. Whereas in functional programming language, we never manipulate any variable value. Okay. For that, I will show you the computation done in a फंक्शनल प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. सो यहाँ पे अगर जो कंप्यूटेशन दिख रहा है आपको वो देखो, यहाँ पे लिखा है लेट REC GCD AB equal to, REC is your resultant, GCD AB equal to. So you are saying that I want GCD of AB should be equal to, so I'm declaring, please understand, I'm declaring, I'm saying that, I'm defining that GCD of A and B is like this. So if A is equal to B, then GCD is A. Else if A is greater than B, then GCD is B, A minus B. So please understand, we are calling GCD again. We are not changing the value of B, but we are changing the second parameter value. We are not changing the first parameter of this call. We are calling this function again with a different value. Okay, so we are not manipulating state of a variable. This if A equal to B is actually testing whether A is equal to B. सिंटैक्स डिफरेंट है सी से ऑब्वियसली, क्योंकि सी में अगर मैं इफ को टेस्ट कर इफ में कोई टेस्ट करता हूं तो मैं लिखता हूं A इक्वल इक्वल टू B. तो सिंटैक्स थोड़ा बाजू में रखो फिलहाल. Just check the program and you will understand that we have never had any assignment statements. There are no assignment statement. This is just the declaration. Equal to से मैंने declare किया है. It's not an assignment statement. Okay, there is no assignment statement. Whereas in imperative programming language, you have assignment statement as the very much important component of your program. Okay, so we are looking at this category of different programming languages, declarative versus imperative. Declarative programming languages, I told you that we do not instruct the machine to do the computation, but we give the information that is required for that particular hardware to carry out the computation. That can be in the form of the constraints that I require in order to get the subset from the database, or that could be in the form of some functional representation where I do not manipulate the variables that I use as parameters. Okay, इन इंपरेटिव प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज शुरू में आपको लगेगा कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है कि मैं कोई वेरिएबल मैनिपुलेट किए बिना कंप्यूटेशन करूं, बिकॉज यू आर एट दिस मोमेंट मोर फोकस्ड अबाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग अगर मुझे कंप्यूटेशन करना है वेरिएबल डिक्लेयर करने पड़ेंगे, उनको मैनिपुलेट करना पड़ेगा, उनको चेंज करना पड़ेगा, because you are tuned to C programming language, which is imperative programming language, which does what? It changes the state of computation by assigning new values to variables during the computational cycle. जब आप कंप्यूटेशन करते हो तो आप वेरिएबल्स को नए नए वैल्यूज असाइन करते जाते हो. That changes the state of computation. Hence, imperative style of programming is totally different from declarative programming style. Today we look at what are two different programming paradigms. Number one is declarative, number two is imperative. These are two broader categories. Inside these categories, there are subcategories. Declarative programming category have functional programming, data flow driven programming, logic, and constraint based programming as three subcategories. Some names of functional programming languages are Lisp, LISP, ML, and Haskell. Okay, these are the names of three functional programming languages. Data flow based programming languages names are ID, Val, and there is one more language called as Icon, okay, which is not mentioned over here. These are names of some data flow based programming language. The third category of programming language is the logic or constraint based programming language. Some examples could be Prolog, the spreadsheet, the use of spreadsheet for computation, and SQL. So spreadsheet isn't a language in itself, but use of spreadsheet for doing computation requires you to do declarative programming. Especially when you are using Microsoft Access, which is query by example, is a very good example of declarative programming style. SQL, structured programming language, which is largely used for querying a database to obtain the data that is required for any kind of reporting tool. That is a very much important example of a declarative programming language. On the other hand, imperative programming language can be subcategorized into structured programming language, which are also known as von Neumann languages, object-oriented programming languages, and scripting languages. Object-oriented programming languages are like extension to the structured programming languages. That's why they fall under imperative style of programming. But object-oriented is a very famous style in itself of programming, which organizes data and the functions which operate on the data as single coherent unit called as an object. And this object is very much used in programming language. Concept of object is very much used in programming language like Smalltalk, Eiffel, and Java. Non-human examples are C, Ada, and Fortran. Finally, the scripting programming languages, which are structured, which are not structured, sorry, which are imperative programming languages. They may include programming languages like Perl, Python, and PHP. These are very much languages which have loose syntax and which are very much flexible in the way they are represented and very popular amongst the user. PHP here, which is mentioned, is a application specific programming language which is catering to the server side scripting. Python mentioned here is a general purpose programming language used for many different tasks, many different application programs, as well as sometimes it is also nowadays started to be used for writing drivers for operating system and all. So low level tasks are also nowadays are readily available in Python. APIs. API stands for Application Programming Interface. What it means is it means additions to the existing body or representation of Python programming. Okay. Finally, the Perl programming language. One word or two about that is it's an old programming language, mainly to do with the web-based programming.